I wrote down ahead of time last night before I came what I thought y'all would say, because I get it all the time. Did anybody have Dwayne Johnson? Nobody had Dwayne Johnson? The Rock! The Rock! What you're thinking is a vital part of what we're going to talk about today. Is we talk about a game plan for beating your toughest opponent. That's the name of my newest book, A Game Plan for Beating Your Toughest Opponent. Strategies for winning the game between your ears and between the lines. Why between the lines? Well, because it is written to help athletes get out of their head and into their game. That's what I say to them a lot of times. Get out of your head. Get out of your head and get into your game. I'd like for you to imagine for a moment. Imagine that you have a son that has loved the game of baseball since the time he was big enough to pick up a bat. He's loved watching his heroes play. The sound of the crack of the bat. The feel of circling the bases after hitting one out of the park. The smell of his leather glove. And one day he comes to you and he says, I don't want to play anymore. Your heart is broken. You know that he's been in a lengthy struggle of non-production at the plate. But you say to him, son, you're so close to reaching your goal of playing college baseball. And he says, Mom, Dad, I just can't do it anymore. I'm mentally shot with the failure in this game. I've lost it. Would you do whatever you could to help your son? My phone rang one afternoon and a despondent father told me that story and asked if I could help him. I said, yeah, I'd love to see your son. He came to me several times, and after the first couple of sessions, I saw the light come back on in the young man's eyes. It was special. The next time he played, he went 4 for 4 with 2 doubles and a home run, and weeks later, he received a college scholarship to play college baseball. Nice. I was walking by a baseball field one time. There was a youth baseball game going on, and there was this young player. He's getting ready to get in the batter's box, 10-year-old game. He's getting ready to get in the batter's box, and I see he's paying attention to every little move that he makes. He picks the bat up just so, and he checks his knuckles, makes sure they're lined up. He gets in, he checks his feet, and he checks his hand. He looks out, the pitcher throws the pitch in, and he swings and misses, and looks extremely awkward doing so. Immediately afterwards, the coach looked from third base, yelled at him, "Get out of your own way, son!" The kid looked at him, and he looked at himself. He started to look around. He goes, "I don't see anything, coach." I chuckled too. But I felt sorry for the kid because he had no idea what "get out of your own way" meant. In my many years of helping athletes play at higher and higher levels, get out of your own way or get out of your head and get into your game has been a main theme. Get out of your own way. Many of you have heard something similar at one time or another, and if you haven't heard it, you probably have thought it in some form like, I can't get out of my own head. I am my own worst enemy. What's wrong with me? How many of you could stand to get out of your own way at times? Are you thinking of any specific times right now? Our chatty Cathy brains constantly chattering away, telling us all the things that we should or we can't do, or fearful of the uncertain, telling us scary stories about what the future holds so that we worry, and reminding us of all of our past failures and shortcomings. Right? Sometimes it would seem that our brains just won't shut up. Have you ever been lying in bed and you can't go to sleep because your brain won't stop talking to itself? Does your brain often seem to have a mind of its own? Thinking about what you're thinking, noticing your thoughts, what your brain is doing, will help you in exercising the things that I teach in my book. Things like how to get past what you might be thinking so you can get out of your own way and and be a better what, Michael?
Me, dancer.
Be a better dancer. Be a better you. Be a better
restoration specialist.
All right. Be a better. Yeah. Get rid of a thought, make it go away for good. You ever considered that? I'm going to show you that you cannot. I got Bobby and Bobby right here. Bobby squared. There is a thought floating around in your head that you probably haven't at least thought of in the last week, maybe months, year, maybe even years. Maybe, I was going to say 30 years, but y'all look way too young. So maybe 15, 20 years. And I'm going to bring it to the surface just like that. Say the first thing that comes to your mind. I'm going to predict what you're going to say.
Awesome.
Every cloud has a silver
Lighting.
I want to predict what you're going to say. Mary had a little. Now. Wow, that's impressive. Those thoughts. When was the last time you thought Mary had a little lamb?
8 years ago.
Okay, at least, wow, he knows the year. That's impressive. Shouldn't it be gone by now? I mean, you hadn't thought of it in 8 years. Don't you think it would have faded away? No, those thoughts, they're still in there. And when you fall on your face, guess what your brain's going to do? Throw it back at you. So how do we get out of our own way? Number one is perfectionism. The need for everything to be just so, making no mistakes, and so on. In the famous words of Admiral Akbar, that's a trap! Oh, people know who Admiral Akbar is. Right. His face, daily skin tag, Star Wars. How does the saying go? Don't believe everything you hear, see, read. No, it's not lamb. I say, don't believe everything you think. We can't seem to resist. The reason is because we think that voice is us. It's not. It's just your brain doing what it does, much of it habitual, a lot of times instinctual, and our brains put out a lot of what I call FBI messages, false brain information about yourself. Don't buy it. I asked early on whether you had anybody read your thoughts or not. I'm not sure I did so well with the Dwayne Johnson thing. That wasn't so much impressive. Let's see. Let me try Tessa here. Tessa, right? Tessa. I want you to think of a number between 1 and 10. Okay. All right. I want you to take that number. I want you to multiply it by 2. Okay. Now I want you to add 8 to that number. You have a new number? No, that new number? All right. Now I want you to take that number and divide it by 2. Now I want you to subtract the original number that you had and come to a new number. Okay, you got it. All right, so now you have that number. Okay. Now I want you to convert that number to a letter in the alphabet. So A would be 1, B would be 2, so on and so forth. Okay. Now I want you to, and you can write down, I won't be looking. I want you to write down a country that starts with that letter. Okay, and then I want you to skip to the next letter in the alphabet. So if you had A, it would be B, or whatever. Skip to the next letter. I want you to write down an animal that starts with that letter. And then I want you to write down the color of that animal. Is it a gray elephant in Denmark?
Hey, Denmark was what I was going to write.
Here's one for everybody, real quick. I want everybody to think of a number between 1 and 50. 1 and 50. Think of a number between 1 and 50. And I want it to be an odd number. And I want the 2 digits not to match. Write that down. Write down your number. I wrote down ahead of time what I believe you guys would say. All right, you ready? Everybody write their number down. Let me hear some. 31, 13, 37, 27, 37, 35, 21. Here is what I predicted you guys would say. 37. I had a couple of 37s in there. Now, for all of you that wrote down 37, You guys are great. The rest of you, please go see your doctor immediately. I started this morning asking if you ever had anyone read your thoughts. The more important thing is for you to read your own thoughts. Pay attention. Keep tabs on what your brain is doing, especially when you're facing a challenge, stepping outside your comfort zone. Maybe you made a mistake or stubbed your toe in some way, and realize that those thoughts, no matter what your brain throws in your face, do not have to define who you are or how you perform or behave. When you do this, you will have successfully gotten out of your own